And welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Tuesday, April 11th, 2017. Just want to read our disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice. Not making any recommendations, always for your further homework. Hello, hope you had a great week last week. Nice to be back. The spring weather is coming in, which is so nice to see. And we've got a long weekend coming up, which is extra nice. So with that, let's get into today's video. We always start off with a look at the Russell Index. We use the Russell as our proxy for the markets overall. We just want to keep these videos short and we pick one index, and that index is the Russell. We always step back to take a look at it on a 5-year monthly time frame. I like to see the monthly candles. I've taken all the drawings off so we can better see where we're at. Overall, you want to note that the market is in an overall uptrend, but it's kind of been trading sideways. These are the monthly candles. So sideways action, looking for direction. We will see which way it goes. I'm going to put the drawings back in because we've been keeping an eye on this little wedge pattern that's happening here. Here's our area of more longer term support on the Russell. But let's get into this area here. We want to note though, so far the candle for the month of April is a little red. This was March, February, January. So let's get into this area here. I'll move it away from the 5-year monthly to the 1-year weekly. And here's that sideways price action showing up. So you can see sideways, then we had this little wedge. It looks like it's trying to break out and it's holding overall our orange line of weekly support. But we're right here, so we'll see how the market reacts to, I think bank earnings are coming up later in the week, so we'll see how the market reacts to those. I'll move it away from the weekly to the daily. We can see that this is our wedge, this is our orange line of support, kind of been bouncing around a little bit, but price on the Russell is up and over our blue 8-day EMA, just ever so slightly, and so we will be putting a new chart forward this morning. And so the chart that we're going to add to our watch list today is TX Ternium SA. They are in the steel space. They are a steel manufacturer and producer that operates primarily in Latin America, Mexico, Argentina, Colombia, and the US. They're a big steel producer. They were incorporated in 2003. You know, at Chart of the Day Cafe, it is all about value, and TX has a really excellent value score. Second thing we look for, which is a must, is growth, and TX has a current forecasted earnings growth rate of 33%. That's a really nice high number. Third thing we look for, it's not a must like value and growth, but in this case it is there, and that's a dividend yield. The current dividend yield for TX is 3.78%. And the PE overall right now is 8.80. So with that, let's get into the chart. We're looking at the 2-year weekly. You can see overall on the 2-year chart, uptrending. And we've got this area, my orange line of support resistance. It moved through that area with volume. So it is now support. I like the way it's trading. You can see this little wedge pattern happening here. So should the market start to pick up in this area, the markets overall, like the S&P and the Russell, wouldn't be too surprised to see TX start to break out of this wedge, especially with those scores, that really excellent fundamental value, growth, and dividend. So let's move it away from the 2-year weekly to the 3-month daily so we can better see. There's our wedge. Here's our orange line. This is our 8-day EMA. The blue line is our 8-day EMA. I want to show you that we have an emerging 3-and-8 cross. It's just. I would want to see, I know everyone has their own way of doing things, and I'm not suggesting that you do it this way, but I would be waiting for more lift and confirmation and a move out of this wedge into this area. I'm going to move it back to my plane study, but really like the way this one is behaving in this area. And again, if the markets start to lift here, this one may start to move out of this wedge, so it's worth keeping on our watch list. You know, at Chart of the Day Cafe, not only do we want to look at our watch list pick chart, but we also want to look at the sector that it's in, and we're looking at XME, which is the Metals and Mining ETF. Like TX, you can see that we're looking at the 2-year weekly chart. It's in this overall uptrend and sitting at this area of support. So the sector that it's in is also trending higher and in this interesting area where price may want to be supported here and lift should the overall market start to lift. We also like to take a look at seasonality. We always go to this site, equityclock.com. Excellent site, really can't say enough about it. I couldn't find a seasonal chart specifically for TX, but I did find this steel industry seasonality chart. And as you can see, in the month of April, steel has seasonal favor in its corner. So that's nice to see. We also like to look at FinViz to see if there are any recent upgrades. And sure enough, we had an upgrade on TX in February of this year. Also some very positive articles. I'm going to include the Zacks article. It's currently a Zacks #1 strong buy. So those are all good things as well. And so let's go back and check the boxes for TX. We looked at the Russell Index, which we use as our proxy for the market overall. It's been trading sideways for a long time, several weeks, but we currently have price up and over the 8-day EMA on the daily chart. We looked at the sector that TX is in, the metals and mining sector ETF, XME. We can see that it's in an overall uptrend on the 2-year chart and at a possible area of support. TX is in an uptrend on the 2-year chart, and again, like the sector, at a possible area of support. It's got an excellent value score. It's got an excellent growth score with a forecasted earnings growth rate of 33%, current dividend yield of 3.78%. It has a 3 and 8 daily cross, just. Seasonality, we're checking the box. We couldn't find a specific seasonal chart for TX, but the sector, the steel sector, has seasonal favor. It's got analyst support, and it's currently a Zacks #1 strong buy. Overall PE of 8.80 and earnings coming up April 25th.